if they want any type of success, you swap Kawhi and Paul George and put Kawhi on Donovan.
Well, Kawhi was guarding him periodically.
Periodically, I need you on him the whole game. 48 minutes, I need you on him. If he
I'm bringing a pack. I'm a roller with stars and I'm smoking on platinum. Got my eye on the prize so I don't do distractions. I'm coming back.
Man. Yo, what it do? Ooh, that felt good. It's your boys, Juice and Lou, and we back here with another episode for y'all. You know, J. Lou, he joined the mic team. He joined the mic team, so you know we official now. It feels like, but before we get into this episode, this topic, it's trivia time. You already know what it is. Yeah. This question for today is gonna pop up in about 3, 2, 1. Boom! Right there. You already know. Answer down in the comments. J. Lou, go ahead and say it for us one time. Let's go.
Yep. So the last question from a video yesterday was, how many times has Chris Paul missed the playoffs in the 16 seasons? And no one got it right. It was 3 seasons. He's only missed 3 seasons out of his 16 years in the NBA. So that's pretty good for Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And
GOAT status.
You know how elite point guard he is in today's game and still was back then. But the new question is kind of interesting one.
Yeah. Besides
Giannis, who was the last person to get a 10-second free throw violation? Leave your answers down below. And this is a good way to start the video because we're gonna talk about the Bucks and the Nets last night. So Giannis and Chris Middleton, they took over. Both of them had 30+ points. Bruce Brown. Now we're gonna talk about him a little bit, but he had a solid first half. Now I actually watched the whole first half. He finished with 16-11, and the Nets, this was a struggle game. It really looked like they really were just out there playing basketball. Like, they were just running, freestyling. You can really see that Harden, like I said, like everybody says actually, he's the generator of the offense. He creates it. And of course, because Mike D'Antoni, you know, his old coach from Houston is on the team, and, you know, Steve Nash, they're both offensive-minded coaches. James Harden fits both of their play styles, but he's out with his hamstring. I don't know if he's coming back this series. But like I said, I still don't think they need Harden. I think before the series, I had them winning in 5. They still have the chance to do that. Game 4 will be tomorrow, Saturday. So I think the Nets, they need to come out with more energy because we saw the Bucks at the end of the first quarter was 30-11. And Giannis and Chris Middleton scored all of their points, 15 apiece in one quarter.
Way more.
In one quarter.
Yeah.
So after that, the Nets did come back, though. Like I said, they ran the pick and roll to death with Bruce Brown. That's how they started coming back. And they got back into the game eventually around the third quarter. Things got interesting. KD gets the rock, of course. He put up 30+ points. Didn't shoot the best. Kyrie had 22 points. He didn't shoot the best either. But they still got their scoring production. It's just the Nets, like I said, they didn't have a lot of energy in this game. And the Bucks, like I said, the last podcast, I wouldn't be surprised if they won. And they won the game. Drew Holiday hit a clutch spin layup when he took the lead. They were up 1. The inbound possession. Inbounded to Kyrie, actually, but the ball gets fumbled. Kyrie picks the ball up. He's about to get trapped, of course. He passes to Bruce Brown. You know, there's about 10 seconds left. Now, the thinking with this is, even if you miss early in the shot clock, you can still foul and get another possession. So I guess everybody in the world besides Bruce Brown knew that KD was supposed to have the ball. And he didn't have the ball.
Oh, man.
So Bruce Brown, he runs to the rim and he blows the layup. And they foul. They go to the free throw line. There's about 2 seconds left. Next possession, KD finally touches the ball, gets double teamed. He misses the three from deep.
Almost won in.
Yeah, hit the back of the rim. And that's how we are at the end of game 3. I still don't think the Bucks played that good that game. It was very defensive. Like I said, 86-83 in a 2021 playoff game. Usually saw that in the 90s or the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think the Bucks, they need more production if they're going to win. I mean, I don't think the Nets are going to go under 90 again, ever, this playoffs. So it's kind of a surprise that it even happened. But Chris Middleton and Giannis combined for 79% of the Bucks' points last night. That is the most in playoff history by a duo. Better than Shaq and Kobe, Curry, KD, whatever duo you want to name out there. Those two players scored 79% of their team points. Their role players are going to have to step up. I don't think the Nets role players are going to do as bad, especially like Joe Harris. I mean, he shot 1 for 11.
9%.
He was trending. They were building a new arena. He was building a new arena in Milwaukee for the Nets. He missed a wide open clutch mid-range too. I didn't think he would miss that. I know he's been struggling the whole game, but
yeah,
Joe Harris, he's a shooter, would hit that. Give the pressure laid off of Kyrie and KD to hit a tough shot. But he missed, and they lost the game. I still think Jeff Green is being missed because he was a big role player for them. And plus, he's a big body as well. So, like I said, I still got the Nets in 5. But if they lose game 4 tomorrow, it's going to look interesting. That's all I gotta say. It's gonna look.
I don't see the Bucks winning game 4. I don't. They barely squeaked by this. If Joe Harris makes one more shot, it's a different game. He doesn't even have to hit all his shots. 1 for 11. All you had to do was make one more shot, and this is a different ball game. But neither clubs did good. Nets went 36% from the field. Bucks went 37% from the field. Nets went 25% from 3. The Bucks went 19% from 3. So nobody played good. All defense. But Joe Harris, you had great looks. 3-point champ last year, right? 3-point champ. You got to hit those, bro. It's playoff time. You'd be up 3-0 right now, ready to sweep them. And I wanted you to sweep them for Miami's sake. That's besides the point. KD, he did his thing. He had no choice but to do his thing. Kyrie was a little slow to start. It was a little slow to start. I brought this up. Kyrie will be slow. He'll shoot a lot of shots. He'll get 20, but it's like he had 22 points on 22 shots.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
He hasn't gotten to the free throw line this series. Or I think in the playoffs in general.
Yeah, it's like as crafty as he is around the rim, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten to the line. I think he's been shooting too much. Maybe. But it's a different ball game. Blake Griffin, he only had 5 points in the past 2 games. He was looking like Clippers Blake Griffin.
Yeah, he got foul trouble early.
Yeah, foul trouble hurt. Nicholas Claxton, 17 minutes. I expected more. More minutes. I didn't think he'd play 17, especially with how well he's doing protecting the paint down there. I didn't think he'd only play that much. Kyrie played 44 minutes. KD played 42.
Mm-hmm.
And PJ Tucker, he played 32 minutes, but He didn't score, but that presence on KD, it showed. It showed a little bit though. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't that crazy.
Come on.
But it showed slightly.
It's like Pat Bev on KD last time we were on the Warriors.
Pretty much. Giannis, 1 for 8 from 3. Why are you shooting that many times? Why?
Another 10-second violation yesterday.
And another 10-second violation. Listen, I think the refs don't be counting. I think they don't count.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because if we're calling 10-second violations, I think every one of his free throws this year, this year. Every one of his free throws this year would be a 10-second violation.
It's funny because he actually got one back in 2016.
Right.
With the same routine. And now it's being bought up 4 years later. Well, 5 years later.
It's just like in 5 years, you've called 3 10-second violations on Giannis. How many times? He slashes. He goes to the free throw line almost every time. Every time he goes down there.
Right.
And in 5 years, you only called 3 of them? Come on, refs. Okay, he can't make the free throws that well. He went 4 for 9. But still, call it. Like, what? Brook Lopez, 1 for 7. 1 for 5 from 3. Now, it's a he could do it again, but he couldn't do it again. Like he'll probably show up, but it's iffy, Bruce Brown on the Nets.
Okay? You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. Okay.
Man thought he was a hero.
Absolutely.
Man thought he was some. He had 16 points and said, "I can do it." He thought he was the man. I know they wanted to in the locker room. They wanted to. Hey yo. Man, look. Man, Landry Shamet though. I expected more. 17 minutes. Play 17 minutes, same amount as Claxton, but you'd be hitting them threes too. 1 for 4. I thought I'd get more shots out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Mike James? 1 for 5. That's tough, man. That's tough. Come on. But I think it was just an off night, even though it was definitely a winnable game for the Nets. But the Bucks were playing like this to begin with. They were playing like this game 1. Well, not game 1, but they were shooting bad. Everybody was shooting bad besides Giannis. So I say from the role players, they were shooting bad game 1, game 2, and game 3. They just got bailed out game 3. They just got lucky that nobody else came hot. Game 4. KD going for 40 game 4. KD going for 40. And I honestly think that. It may not be an efficient 40, but he's going for it.
I don't want you to say that anymore after you said Jimmy was going for 40.
That's besides the point.
Because you're gonna jinx my boy.
But that's besides the point. I'm talking about one of the greatest scorers of all time. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about him now. I'm talking about him. But that's gonna wrap up this game. We got another Donovan Wade. Oh man, that bad man.
Oh man.
My man's had 27 at half. 27 at the half. Ooh. Playoff P. He didn't do too bad actually. It wasn't great, but it wasn't, the overrated chants were back. I was looking over. I wasn't really paying attention to the game, but I had it on. I was playing my game. I look over, Jazz up by 20. I look back 5 minutes later. It's a tie game. I'm like, how? But the Clippers go to the free throw line a lot. They did go to the free throw line, but Jazz are so good, bro. Without Mike Conley again. Without him again. So this team can be so good. It's so good. Honestly, I don't know why they keep putting Paul George on him. Honestly. If they want any type of success, you swap Kawhi and Paul George and put Kawhi on Donovan.
Well, Kawhi was guarding him periodically.
Periodically, I need you on him the whole game. 48 minutes, I need you on him. If he go out, you go out. If he come in, you come in. I want you on Donovan Mitchell the whole time. Switches, you go through them. But I want you to make him uncomfortable. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. They didn't even play Rondo last night.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was coach's decision or if he has some type of injury that nobody knows about, but it's just, that's tough, man. The Clippers shot 36% from the three-point line. Not. It wasn't crazy bad, but it wasn't crazy good. It only looks that bad because Marcus Morris went 0 for 5 from 3. But Utah, 51% from 3. Crazy.
Yeah.
Joe Ingles, I told you, he had a bad game 1. But I told you, game 2, that's not going to happen again. Came out 7 for 10. And 4 for 7 from 3, 19 points. With a 21, a plus 21 plus minus. The highest on the team.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. Bojan. That's Bojan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bojan, 16 points. Rudy Gobert, he did his thing. 20 rebounds. Crazy. That's crazy. My boy Donovan almost had a 40-piece nugget with the sauce on the side. And Jordan Clarkson came in off the bench with 24 points. Crazy. Paul George, he didn't do bad. 8 for 18, 27 points. But when your leading scorer is Reggie Jackson, why is Reggie Jackson your leading scorer? Why is Reggie Jackson your leading scorer? You had 3 players over double figures, and they all had 20. That's cool, but where's my help? Because they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in double figures. Matter of fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 6 players scored on the Jazz. Only 6. And 5 got double figures. You lost to a team. Listen, you over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 people scored over your way. And you lost to 6 people.
That's 6-man rotation. Playoff time.
That's tough, bro. Usually, y'all should be the team with the most stamina. If y'all playing more people, you got a more rotation. You got a better rotation. You know, y'all playing more people. Y'all should be well rested. They should be tired. But they're beating the brakes off of y'all. Do y'all want to be here? Do y'all want to win? As a wise man once said, do you want to win? Do you want to win?
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy, man. Hey, like I said with game 3 of Bucks and Nets, which the Nets should have won, but they didn't, obviously. I think Clippers are going to put up a better fight because they're at home. But if Utah wins, wrap it up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. That's with any team, though. I got some points to make here. Talk about my finals team once again.
Right.
Paul George. He didn't play bad on the stats. But there were times in the game, if you watched, when you needed him to score something as like the second option. He couldn't do it.
Managed.
Couldn't do it. like you said earlier, Reggie Jackson, their leading scorer. You can't win with Reggie Jackson being your leading scorer. Now, coaching. Ty Lue, you want to know what's funny? I was listening to First Take this morning, actually. Guess what they brought up?
What?
They brought up, said, they talked about how 2016, how the Warriors were up 2-0 on the Cavs. Guess who was the coach of that series? Ty Lue. And then they brought up this playoffs. No, wait, no. Yeah, they brought up this playoffs. And they brought up how the Mavs were up 2-0.
This is what we're doing.
And the coach of that series was Ty Lue.
This is what we're doing. We're doing this.
So I know that Ty Lue has the capability of coming back in series. He literally just did it. He literally made the adjustments needed just to win against the Mavericks. Barely do it.
He made the adjustments so LeBron did.
You talking about 2016? Man, you already know how I feel about 2016. I think if Draymond
plays, this whole...
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Draymond doesn't get suspended, it ends in 5 when they go back to Oracle. But can't do nothing about it. And Bogut got hurt. I mean, injuries, I guess, is a part of the game. So can't really talk about injuries. But if Draymond didn't get suspended, I think it's over. But back to what I was saying, you know, the Clippers, they literally just came back against an 0-2 team. But if anything, last series was harder because they lost their first 2 at home. And now they had to go on the road in Dallas and win. This time, you know, you want to try to steal one if you're the road team in the first 2 games. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world. Especially you're only losing games by less than 8 points. You're only losing the games by less than 8 points. Now,
yeah.
Paul George, you are a funny man. I seen that cheap shot on Donovan Mitchell. Oh man, if Donovan would have got seriously hurt, oh man, Utah would have tried to find that man's address and hunt him down. But Donovan says he'll be all right. He says he'll be all right. So we'll see Game 3 how he's feeling. And Kawhi, you know, 8 for 17. I need more from you. I need more from you. 39 minutes, 8 for 17. You got to at least make 12 shots a game or your team's going to lose. Simple as that. You're the best player on the court. Well, you're supposed to be the best player, but Donovan Mitchell's outshining you. You know, you're the guy with 2 finals MVPs. You, Kawhi Leonard, you. So you're going to have to step up if you want the Clippers to win. I'm not looking for Paul George to step up. I'm looking at you, Kawhi. Luke Kennard, you know, they have him playing, and I like that, but the problem is defensively. The Jazz, the 10 minutes Luke Kennard played, the Jazz literally try to attack him every time. All 10 minutes that he played. Yeah. And, of course, it's a good strategy because he's just there for shooting. So they're trying to get switches with Donovan Mitchell. Kawhi, was trying for his life. Like, they were actually finally showing resistance on the screens. They started double teaming some possessions, not all. But when they double team, they leave the paint open. You're supposed to leave the 3-point line open, but the Jazz are really good shooters. Like you said, didn't you say they hit 50% last night?
51, yeah. Almost 52. It's crazy.
So that's the issue, trying to double team Donovan Mitchell. If it's not Kawhi and Paul George, I wouldn't double team. Or Kawhi and Rondo. Like, those are like the only 2 players, or maybe Pat Bev if he
plays.
Yeah, maybe a Pat Bev since he's getting minutes. Pat Bev and Kawhi, so they're physical with, you know, on the defensive side. And Donovan's only 6'1". It's gonna be hard trying to throw a pass between Kawhi and either Paul George or Beverly. And then one last thing I want to talk about is how Serge Ibaka makes an impact not being here. Now, I told y'all opening night, I really liked the Clippers' defensive lineup when it was Pat Bev, PG, Kawhi, Batum, and Serge Ibaka. That was their old starting lineup.
Right.
Because all of them could switch. They all could play defense and switch, except for Pat Bev guarding like a 6'9" person or somebody. So without Serge Ibaka being healthy, and he probably won't be healthy because it's a back injury for the whole series, and he may not even play. They can't they can't have Zubac playing the pick and roll. They're attacking him every time. They're literally going at Zubac.
Yeah.
Because he's so slow. If Serge Ibaka was here healthy, I think it's a different story through these playoffs. Because he's a better pick and roll defender, better rim protector. He's not 7 foot, yeah, but they're not. Their rebounding is not really the Clippers' biggest issue. It's their defense right now.
Yeah, he's out for the season with a back injury.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's a GG. That is a GG.
Clippers, if you can't go down 0-3, of course, you're probably not going to win a series if you go down 0-3. So Game 3 is another must win. I shall tune in. I shall watch a little bit.
Most definitely. Back to that Ty Lue situation you said. The difference is you had LeBron James, you have Kawhi Leonard now. Your star players are both top 10 players. Arguably top 5 players. So my thing is 2016 was all Bron. This year.
Kyrie was helping him.
Kyrie, cool, yeah, but yeah. This year, you got down 0-2 to one man. Then you stopped that one man, and then that one man didn't have any more help. Now you're dealing with, like you said, a 6-man rotation where a lot of people can score 20-plus points willingly.
Except Gobert.
But 5 people can score 20-plus points, like we just saw. You lost to 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
This is a whole different ball game, Ty. Whole different ball game.
Well, the Warriors could do the same thing.
5 people could score over 20 points willingly. Steph,
Draymond,
Clay, KD, Draymond 2016.
No, that wasn't even KD. Was on the team.
Oh, not KD. Steph, Clay,
Draymond, Barbosa, Sean Livingston
was getting 20.
Not really Barbosa, but Sean Livingston. Sean Livingston, he didn't get a lot of minutes. That's why he wasn't scoring like 20. But if he played the minutes the Jazz players were playing, I bet you get 20.
Debatable. It's debatable. But he was nasty at that mid-range, though. But we're going to see how that goes, y'all. But that's going to wrap up this episode, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know what you guys think in the comments as you answer that question. Let us know what you think about the Jazz. Let us know what you think about the Clippers. Let us know what you think about the Bucks and the Nets. And tonight, we got Kobe Booker. Got Kobe Booker back at it. So we're gonna talk to you guys.
And the Hawks and Sixers.
In the
A. They in the A, Trey.
I don't think that means anything in this series. Last series it meant something, but this series it doesn't mean anything. But we're gonna see how that goes. But until next time, it's your boys Juice and Lou, and we out of here. Peace.